Hello everyone, welcome to Poetry Patel. My name is Sachin Patel, and today the topic is a fresh new start. Everybody goes through something in life, whether it's a situation or a circumstance. It becomes an obstacle in our life, and sometimes it's a little tough to get above that hump. And sometimes we stand still in that position. We get stuck at that place, and we don't know what to do. And it's hard to move forward. And so today is about getting out of that place, because I recently came out of a place, and I figured there are other people in the world that also are on that particular place stuck. So a few words can, even if a few words of mine can ease somebody's day, I'm willing to continue doing what I love to do. I've got my coffee. Grab your drink or some snacks and get on with it. Let's get it. All right, everybody. I've got my laptop on the left with some nice coffee on the right side. So the first poem that we're going to look at is, so I want to tell you that I'm not going to be reading just poems that are from the American culture. I'm going to be not reading just from the Indian culture just because I'm Indian. I'm going to be reading poems from all across the world. My goal is to try to, bring people from all across the world to appreciate poetry. All of our cultures have beautiful aspects, and I'm here to celebrate them. So the first one that I want to start with is by Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. Let's get it. Still I rise. Still I rise. Poetry, still I rise. Alright, so Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. And let me tell you, I've not read any of these poems before. I don't do that. I want to bring my real self towards you. So this is a cold reading. We're going to understand this poetry together. Alright. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my hauntingness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard? You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I am black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wonderful, clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. This is a very interesting poem. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Let's look up a bit of Maya Angelou. I know who she is, but I haven't revisited her in a while. Maya Angelou was a world-renowned poet, memoirist, singer, dancer, actress, and civil rights activist. Her 1967 autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, made history as the first non-fiction bestseller by a black woman. Wow. Interesting. Since I am a singer, I respect a fellow artist when I see one. Maya Angelou. Still I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I'll walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my hauntingness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of thighs? Out of huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wonderful, clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. The thing that I got from this was no matter how it's going, whatever your profession is, you will rise. You put in the effort, you put in the good work, like Maya Angelou said, I rise. You will rise. With the right intention and the right effort, you will rise. Sometimes fate might not play the role, but you'll have to take that as a lesson. And still, you will have to rise to move forward. That was a very nice poem, man, by Maya Angelou. I'm gonna write that one down. I Rise by Maya Angelou, because I want to revisit this poem when I am down myself, because, I like poetry. All right. So the next poem that we're going to look at is by Rumi. It is called The Guest House. The Guest House. All right, everyone, let's get ready to get to the guest house. I wonder what the guest house is about. Rumi, I've heard you're very sad, my friend, but we're coming for you. All right, let's get it. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out of some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Man, that was deep. The only time I've ever read Rumi was in my 12th grade class of Miss Dillinger. And Rumi was not so happy like he is in this poem right here, man. He is very, very inviting, pun intended. But let's get to the bottom of this. Let's understand who Rumi is, first of all. Rumi the name is Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi, was a 13th century Persian poet, Hanafi, faqih, Islamic scholar, Maturidi theologian, a Sufi mystic born during the Khwarezmian Empire. Rumi's work were written mostly in Persian, but occasionally he also used Turkish, Arabic, and Greek in his verses. Alright. He was born in Afghanistan, died in Turkey. Rumi. Wow. Rumi's favorite lines, or famous lines, were, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do." That's a beautiful line, man. Appreciate that, Rumi. Appreciate that, homie. That was needed. Alright, let's break this poem down a bit. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. We are being human. We are humans. And we are beings. And we're a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. So a new emotion in us enters, or it might not be new, but different emotion enters in us every day. Welcome and entertain them all. He says to welcome them, man. Yeah, it's a good idea. Welcome them all, because they will surely teach us a lesson. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house and empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. Man, no matter how they treat you, that's what he's saying. No matter how they treat you, you welcome them. Treat them with honor. Man, treat them with honor. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. So what he's saying, in my understanding, is that with every new feeling, there is some sort of a lesson attached. It's like we're in a school of God. We're on this planet. God is always trying to teach us a lesson. And the dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing. Invite them in. Man, boy is no wonder he was a Sufi. Man, oh man, Bubba, let's get it. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. As I said, Rumi said, all of them are sent by the power higher up. Whether you believe in Mother Nature, God, or science, or whatever you believe in, it is sent from beyond. Every aspect of it is sent from beyond. To me, I believe that every day is a lesson for us. Some days are hard, some days are easy. And today, my friend, this episode is about getting out of that tough situation and moving forward. That is the goal of today's podcast, a fresh new start. All right. Thank you, my friend Rumi. my homie. Let's get to the next one. Alright, the next one is Spring Dawn by Meng Haoran. Spring Dawn. Alright, let's look up Spring Dawn. Asleep in spring, unconscious of the dawn, the chirp chirp song of birds is everywhere. Last night the thunder, wind, and rain came long. How many blossoms now remain out there? Interesting. That was the poem, guys. That was it. My friend Meng Haoran kept it short and sweet and simple. I like that. Barely 2 lines. Man, made my job a lot easier. Alright, I appreciate that. Alright, let's see. Asleep in spring, unconscious of the dawn, the chirp chirp song of the birds is everywhere. Last night the thunder, wind, and rain came long. How many blossoms now remain out there? I have to understand what's his name, Meng Haoran, first before we try to understand the poem. Meng Haoran was a Chinese poet, a major literary figure of Tang Dynasty. He was somewhat an older contemporary of Wang V, Li Bai, Du Hu. We don't have a date of his birth, but he died in 740 AD. Interesting. We're gonna have to learn what this means. So the poet was sleeping under the tree. As he gains consciousness, he wakes up and he wonders how many flower petals were knocked down. So, after the storm, what beautiful thing came out of it? So after your storm, what beauty lies in the storm that came out of it? Because everybody is in a storm of some sort, some situation, some obstacle. Man, what did he out? Very small poem, but very deep impact. Alright, let's thank you, Mr. Meng. We're about to move on to the next poem. The next poem is from Rabindranath Tagore. It's called Gitanjali 35. Rabindranath Tagore is very close to an Indian's heart. He has contributed a lot of things. And one of the contributions that he's well known for is writing the anthem, the Indian anthem. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya Hai Bharat Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravid Uttal Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchchal Jaladi Taranga Tab Subh Naame Jage Tab Subh Ashish Mange Gaye Tab Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangal Dayak Jaya Hai Bharat Bhagya Vidata Jaya Hai Jaya Hai Jaya Hai Jaya 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 Hai. That was our national anthem. I had to revise pronouncing the right words correctly and making sure I don't say it wrong because it's a matter of national pride for all of us Indians. All right. So let's get to Gitanjali 35. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into the heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Man, I didn't understand a lot of it, but it sounded pretty nice. Let's get to the bottom of this. Before we get to the bottom of it, let me tell you a bit about Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath was from Bengal. He was a Bengali polymath who was a writer, a poet, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, painter. Wow, he was quite it, Bubba. He knew what he was doing. Born in 1861, the year when the Civil War in America was, finished finally. That was the year Rabindranath Tagore was born. Died 1941, a couple of years short from the Indian independence. I want to say 6-7 years. Barely. Okay. And he was known for his independence movement. So now let's get to the bottom of this poem. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of the truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into the ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So this poem is about the Indian independence, where the mind will be able to be free. Rabindranath wrote this about the independence movement. He's praying to God about all the situations that are mentioned in the poem, where the mind is free to do its own thinking without the worry of the Britishers. Back then, man, it's a very deep poem, where we're not restricted to say what we want to say. He's praying to God to let the freedom of expression be bestowed upon the country of India. I wonder what year he wrote this poem. Let's see. What did he write that? When was it written? 1910? He was praying to God for our independence in 1910. Dog. He published that poem in 1910, asking God for the freedom, for the independence, for your expression in 1910. Damn. All right, everyone. So that was the round for today. Fresh new start. I hope that was all the poems for today. I hope you enjoyed me reading some of these poems and take inspiration, not from me, but from these poems. The way they're written, the way that God has played all his instruments on this planet Earth and let that inspire you to get out of the position that you're currently stuck in. Whatever inspires you to get out of that position. Life is not going to get any easier for anybody. It's only going to go in one direction. The more we work, the more challenges that come across. And the only thing we can do is stay calm and keep working hard and keep moving forward from the little humps and the obstacles that come. We face them with head on, staying calm and not letting them, get intimidated by their demeanor. We don't want to let them get in power, because when you let somebody else take in charge of your life, it's not going to be good. So at the end of the day, it's the feeling of anxiety, nervousness, and the pressure that's holding us all down in the dumps when we are faced with a new situation. So my friends, it's time to get up. It's time to move forward. Let's go. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope my words and my tomfoolery, or however I make my podcast, I hope that inspires. I hope these poems inspire you. I hope something in your day changes because of this podcast. I will see you next time with a new feeling, a new poem. We have hundreds of thousands of them in this world. We have a lot of work to do. Thank you. You have a good day.